Okay, we are going to snake this drain that has been so tough for so many. So let's see if we can get this. First thing we're going to do is run the saw bit down. So let's take off the screw here. Careful not to lose the screw. Put the bit on. Let's go over to this side here.
I'm using the saw bit because I find that it works better with roots. There's also a like a half moon chopper bit, and that works pretty good too, but this is has teeth on it and it cuts through roots, toilet paper, and other stuff well.
I hope I've got the camera aligned right. Remember that screwdrivers are one of the most dangerous tools. More people poke themselves with screwdrivers than any other tool. Okay, put our gloves on. Remember, you don't want to stand to the side because you'll get sprayed with poop debris. Not one of my favorites. Okay.
Rubber boots are your friend.
Forward. Maybe put that someplace where it won't get caught. Alright.
The control has forward, reverse, and neutral.
Forward we go. Run it out a little farther. Alright, now it's in. Alright, let's see what we get. So we'll just let it run out, and so far it's running out freely. We'll pay attention for any kind of change in the movement of the coils.
If you see the coils beginning to bind up, that means you're hitting the clog. And if you see excessive binding, stop the machine and back it up.
Slight change in movement. It's still turning, still going out. It's not binding though.
It's also good to pour a little bleach into the drain there to kill all the bacteria that you're working around.
Okay, you can hear we are binding now.
It's a mild bind, not too much, so it's just keep working forward. When you see the water in the drain, you want to keep an eye on that water level. Keep it topped up. You always want to have water in there in case the clog does break free.
Let's bring it back now,
so that the clog will flow out.
So sometimes when you do actually break it up, that water in there will just go whoosh right on out.
And you'll hear that whoosh right at the very end of the video.
I put some bleach in there because I want to have all the bacteria dead.
So you can see that the snake is running out fairly smoothly. It's not binding on it, anything. Now you can see it's binding.
Run her back out. So we probably went out about 15, maybe 20 feet. This time we'll go a little farther. So we're hitting something again there.
So you see that pumping action right there. That is very smooth. It's not really having much resistance, but later on you'll see resistance when I pull in and then try to push back out. You will see the resistance, and that is when you're working the clog. And you need to work the clog and massage it forward, because sometimes these clogs can be 10 or more feet long of just packed in toilet paper and other debris, and you have to really work it to bust it up and get it to move forward on you. Because another thing that happens is these clogs, as they move forward, they roll from the center to the outside, and as they do that, they squeeze water out, dry, and reclog. So the clog will move down the line as you are breaking it free from one spot, and then it reforms almost immediately another foot down.
A lot of movement now.
So you can see we're getting some resistance going back in. And we just keep busting up the clog.
Okay. That means I need to put some water out there.
And that is what I'm saying, is you always want to have water in that drain, because if it does break loose, you want it to flow all the way out. And it's also good to run water on there to keep the snake clean. Especially when you are pulling the snake back out of the sewer line. You want to be rinsing the snake as you're pulling it back out. And the reason is that as the snake coils back up into the rooter,
you want to have water in here to move that clog out.
As you're pulling the snake into the rooter, that sewer water is going to splash on you unless you rinse it off.
Okay. And let's do some more here.
Just keep working that clog, pulling the snake in and out, and working it in and out through the clog, busting it apart. In this way you are breaking up any tissue and debris that is stuck in there, roots, whatever, and it becomes, instead of maintaining its full shape, you're busting it up into like a soup. Grinding it down into nothing that will not re-stick together. It won't reform into another clog, but you have to do that all the way through the clog, and that can be 10, 15 or more feet of clog to bust apart like that. So you just need to take your time, be patient, work the snake in and out of the clog just like what I'm doing here, and eventually you will bust up the clog. See how it's giving me some resistance to push it in there? I'm in the main part of the clog there, or in the solid part, so you want to just keep working that in and out, bust it up, keep water in your sewer line.
Ah, boy.
Gotta keep water in that sewer line.
Oops.
And you can get a sore back doing this. And what I say too,
Okay, reversing back a bit.
rubber boots are your friend. You don't want to be traipsing around in tennis shoes in sewer water. And knee pads are good too. It keeps your knees drier from kneeling in damp sewer water grass.
It's coming out pretty smooth.
There can be a point where you have actually worked your way through the clog, so you want to back out and then go forward again.
No binding.
So sometimes you want to just come all the way back out and then go back in. And you see we are going back in and hitting that clog again, working the clog, the saw head in and out through the clog there, busting it up, grinding it up, pureeing it so that it will not reform. And we just got to keep on doing that all the way through.
Yeah, see, we're hitting something here.
And it takes a little while to
saw bit through it.
master working the snake, but watch what I'm doing and you'll get the hang of it. And if you see that snake begin to bind up, stop, back it out. You do not want to have that snake break in the sewer. Then you have to figure out how to get it out of there, and hopefully not have to replace your sewer.
Yeah, we're getting a good bind out there now.
So I had to drive 1,200 miles home for this because we had two plumbers come and they only wanted to run the snake out once without working it. A lot of good that does. And Kelly insisted that he run the second snake out, and he whined and stammered about it, but he finally did. Then they had a supervisor come down, and the supervisor runs a video camera out and tries to see what the clog is, and I'm thinking, you know, that was really a bright idea, because all you're going to see is brown, soupy water, mush water out there. You're not going to be able to see anything, so that was a waste of time. But they charged Kelly $475, and
Okay, so now we're in neutral.
tried to sell her a new sewer line for I don't know how many thousands of dollars. So, you know, that's why you have to learn how to do this kind of thing yourself, because the only way you're going to get it done right is to do it yourself. There just aren't really a lot of good craftsmen. They're out there, but they're hard to find. People that know what their job is.
Again.
So just pay attention to how I'm doing this. Working the bit,
Neutral.
the saw bit in and out through the clog, pushing it along, grinding it up, pureeing it, and in about another 15 or so minutes, we will be broken through. And you will hear right at the end of the video, you'll hear that whoosh. And in this video, it's kind of a quiet whoop, whoop sound. So if you listen right at the end, you will hear the clog break free. And you hear a rush of air going into the pipe as the clog is going out of the pipe, and it's sucking in air as it goes, and that's why you get that whoop sound or whoosh sound. Yes, see, I've got one hand is on that flexible guide spring, and the other hand is on the
Forward.
snake, guiding it, forcing it back into the sewer line. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. You absolutely need to have leather gloves on. And if you really don't want sewer water on your hands, you can get some heavy-duty rubber gloves on first and then slip the leather gloves over them and you will stay dry. So we're going to keep on pumping that clog, grinding it up, busting it up, pushing it along down farther. So we run the snake forward, we'll reverse it, and if we are in a spot where we have to work the clog for a bit, we'll go into the neutral and pump in and out. Like right now, I believe I'm in the neutral. You see, I'm working that snake. Now we're going to top up that sewer line again, make sure that there's water in there. Water is weight, and the more weight you have on that clog, the more likely it is to blow out. So having water in that sewer line is your friend. It will help you get the clog to move faster.
Okay.
Okay, so we are just running the snake back out. I believe this time we are going to run the snake out the full 100 feet to make sure that the sewer line is cleared all the way out going to the street. And then we'll come back and then go forward again to bust out the rest of the clog. You can also tell when you have the water level in the pipe up high like that, when you start getting more motion from the water going down the drain, then you know that you're getting closer to getting the clog out. And again, keep pumping that snake. Pull it in, push it out, pull it in, push it out. It's the best way to get that clog to break up and move along the line. So right now you see the snake is running out smoothly. So we'll start hitting something again here in a second. Yeah, there you can see the twist in there. It's beginning to get back into the clog. And so we're going to start working in and out of the clog again, breaking it up, pureeing everything. Now sometimes there's a spiral bit, a corkscrew bit that you can run out there, and sometimes that will wrap up a bunch of roots or other debris, and then you can pull the snake out with that and get a bunch of stuff out of the line that way. But I happen to know that a couple of root balls have already been pulled out before I got to it. So right now I'm pretty sure that what's clogging us is about 10 to 15 feet of toilet paper. Some days this is not the funnest job in the world.
Got a few more.
It's been raining. It's cold. And I should be in southern Arizona right then. But when you need to rescue your loving wife, then you need to come home and rescue. Make sure she's happy. Happy wife, happy house. I am there to serve.
Boy.
What was the saying? God made men because women's work is never done. A little humor for you. So right now we're in a smooth spot there again. But there, now we're starting to bind up again. So you can see that the clog moves a little bit. And then we start to bind up. And then I start to grab the guide and the snake and pull out and push in again. See, we're starting to bind up again. So I put it in neutral. And then we're just going to work it here a bit. Bust that baby up. See, it's taking some effort to drive that snake back in there. So a little time has transpired and the water level got low, so I'm going to top up the water again. I have cut some time out of this. Okay, snake is in forward. It's kind of uncomfortable here. It's hard on your back doing this. And away we go. So a lot of this video here is just technique, and you're going to be doing this pumping action. You see how I'm pulling out and pushing in, pulling out and pushing in to break up that clog, and you need to be able to guide that snake back in. You have your foot on the switch, and if you have some trouble, take your foot off the switch, back out the snake if you have to. Remember not to let the snake bind up and snap on you. That is not a good thing to do. Okay, so I'm just going to cut the video to the end here because this is repetitive. You've seen the technique, how to do it. You don't need to see the entire thing. And I hope that this helps you out the next time that you have got a clogged up sewer line, because this can save you $500. Yes, I had the first two plumbers, $475, then they had the second two plumbers, $500, and neither of them could get it. And the second two plumbers, one came on a Friday, the other came on a Saturday, but could not get the drain to open up. And so it took me about 45 minutes of working and massaging the clog out and grinding it up and working it down, and finally made it. Okay, so I'm going to cut the video short here and skip to the end. I've been working the snake for about another 10 minutes from where I cut the video, and take a look at the water level inside of that sewer pipe there. And right now I am pulling the snake back in and rinsing it, but you see the water level is going to drop in a second, and all of a sudden you're going to hear a whoop sound, and that is when the drain cleared. So you can see right now that the water has disappeared from that. Listen. And there you have the whoop sound. So the drain clog has cleared out. We're all done.
And there you go, kiddos. After two different plumbers, $500 each, not opening up the drain, I drive home 1,200 miles, 3.5 days of driving through blizzards and rotten conditions, and I rent the 5/8 inch router, come home, run the router down the sewer line, and presto, what do you know? Old Jeff clears the drain in about 45 minutes time, running the snake in and out a few times. There'll be a full video on it. The full video ends right where the drain clears. The battery in the GoPro died, but there you go. Leave it to